Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakodash, Barakatah. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to Yakim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'm going to be using an article from TheGuardian.com titled EU leads criticism after Israel passes Jewish nation-state law. So with this video, I'm going to be getting onto Guttarat Amalekite Edomites posing as so-called Jewish people in the land of Israel. You imposters aren't supposed to be there. Legislation stipulates only Jews have right of self-determination in the country. The European Union has led a chorus of criticism after Israel passed a controversial law declaring that only Jews have the right of self-determination in the country. And that's a cut right there, because if you Guttarat Amalekites were the true children of the Most High, you wouldn't need to pass secular legislative laws to prove that you have the right to be in that land. It would be divinely ordained by the Most High. Most of you Edomites or Khazars from Eastern Europe who converted and speak that bastard Yiddish language, adding that the legislation would complicate a two-state solution to the Israel-Palestinian conflict, the EU joined Israeli Arab political leaders, Israeli opposition politicians, and liberal Jewish groups in the U.S. in flagging up concern, with some saying the law amounted to apartheid. And again, if you Guttarat Amalekite Edomites were the true children of the Most High, you wouldn't have all these opposition groups bucking up to you. If you were the true children of the Most High, they would be accepting this and living by your ways, as it says in Micah chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 2. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, into the house of the God of Jacob, and the true children of the Most High, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. And clearly, as we just read from that paragraph, all those opposition groups aren't wanting to learn your ways or walk in your paths, because they know it's all BS. Verse 3, And he shall judge among many people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. And clearly you can see that's not the case. There's wars going on all around the world, in Syria, for instance, in Yemen. We're also on the brink of World War III. You've also got the state of Israel talking up having another military campaign on the Gaza Strip. So just another cut to you imposters over there, that there's no way you can be the true children of the Most High. The legislation stipulates that Israel is the historic homeland of the Jewish people, and they have an exclusive right to national self-determination in it, and Israel is the historic homeland of the true children of the Most High, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, not you Jewish people, and ish is a suffix that just means to be like, so even y'all know y'all aren't the true children of the Most High, and that's in prophecy as well, that you Edomites would be in the land at that time. Which, when we go to Ezekiel chapter 36, I'm going to start at verse 2. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because the enemy, you damn Edomites, hath said against you, Aha, even the ancient high places are ours in possession. And what did it just say? The legislation stipulates that Israel is the historic homeland of the Jewish people, and they have an exclusive right to it. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 5. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, not just you Guttarat Amalekite Edomites, but you Ishmaelites or so-called Arab Palestinians who say you have a right to that land. Neither of you are supposed to be there, any other heathen that's there. And against all Idumea, and Idumea is just a Greek way of saying Edom, and we know you Edomites, you so-called white people, which have appointed my land into their possession, and with the joy of all their heart, with despiteful minds, to cast it for a prey. And that's what you Amalekite Edomites are doing, and also you clearly can't be the people of the Most High because you don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You have gay pride parades in Tel Aviv and also eat kosher pork. It's just complete madness. It also strips Arabic of its designation as an official language alongside Hebrew, and they don't even speak true Hebrew. Again, they speak that bastard Yiddish, downgrading it to a special status that enables its continued use within Israeli institutions. We have expressed this concern that we will continue to engage with Israeli authorities in this context, said a spokeswoman for the EU Foreign Affairs Chief Federica Mogherini. We've been very clear that when it comes to the two-state solution, we believe it is the only way forward, and any step that would further complicate or prevent this solution of becoming a reality should be avoided, the spokeswoman added. Just another cut. There's not supposed to be any two-state solution where two different heathen nations have a right to that land. It's only supposed to be one land governed under the true children of the Most High. Again, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The law was also condemned by the Turkish Foreign Ministry, which said the legislation trampled on the principles of universal law and disregarded the rights of the Palestinian citizens of Israel. Some of the strongest language was used by the head of the Israeli Arab Joint List group of parties, Ayman Oded, who denounced it as the death of our democracy. And if you Amalekites were the true children of the Most High, these people wouldn't have a problem with you, because when we go back to Micah chapter 4 verse 2, just to stress, they would want to be taught your ways, as it says, and he will teach us of his ways and we will walk in his paths, which clearly, as we just read, is not the case. He added, the Knesset has passed a law of Jewish supremacy and told us that we will always be second-class citizens. In a moment of ironic timing, the legislation was passed just hours before Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu welcomed a visit by Hungary's far-right leader Viktor Orban, who Israeli critics have accused of praising Nazi-era anti-Semitic collaborators. The nation-state law, backed by the right-wing government, passed by a vote of 62 to 55 with 2 abstentions, after months of political argument. Some Arab MPs shouted and ripped up papers after the vote. This is the defining moment in the annals of Zionism and the history of the State of Israel, Netanyahu told the Knesset. Last week he said, we will keep ensuring civil rights in Israel's democracy, but the majority also has rights and the majority decides. An absolute majority wants to ensure our state's Jewish character for generations to come. The law was condemned by Yohanan Plesner, the head of the Israel Democracy Institute, who described it as jingoistic and divisive and an unnecessary embarrassment to Israel. The legislation, which will become part of Israel's basic laws that make up its quasi-constitution, but I mean, if you were really the true children of the Most High, you would be following the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, not a quasi-constitution, was also condemned by the president of the Union for Reform Judaism, which represents the largest Jewish denomination in the U.S. This is a sad and unnecessary day for Israeli democracy, said Rabbi Rick Jacobs. The damage that will be done for this by this new nation state law to the legitimacy of the Zionist vision and to the values of the state of Israel as a democratic and Jewish nation is enormous. There are 1.8 million Arabs in Israel, about 20% of the total population. Early drafts of the legislation went further in what critics at home and abroad saw as a discrimination towards Israel's Arabs, who have long said they are treated as second-class citizens. Clauses that were dropped in last-minute political wrangling and after objections by Israel's president and attorney general would have enshrined in law the establishment of Jewish-only communities and instructed courts to rule according to Jewish ritual law, which means mostly by the Talmud, which is just a demonic book that has nothing to do with the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. when there were no relevant legal precedents. Instead, a more vaguely worded version was approved, reading, "The state views the development of Jewish settlement as a national value and will act to encourage and promote its establishment." Even after the changes, critics said the law would deepen a sense of alienation within the Arab minority. "I announce with shock and sorrow the death of democracy," said Ahmad Tibi, an Arab MP. In Ma'alot Tarshiya, a municipality in northern Israel that was created by linking the Jewish town of Ma'alot and the Arab town of Tarshiha, there was anger among Arab residents. "I think this is a racist legislation by a radical right-wing government that is creating radical laws and is planting the seeds to create an apartheid state," said Bassam Bassahara, a 71-year-old doctor. Adala, the legal center for Arab minority rights in Israel, called the law an attempt to advance ethnic superiority by promoting racist policies, but neither you Amalekite Edomites or Ishmaelite Palestinian Arabs are supposed to be in that land, so this is all just a moot point. So, yeah, as you pretty much can see at this point, it's obvious that those gutter rats over there aren't the true children of the Most High. And to further cut that, if you ask these gutter rat Amalekites, they'll say, "Yeah, we've known that we were the children of the Most High for all our history," which is another cut, because in the prophecy it clearly says that the true children of the Most High, which you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, would be cut off from your heritage, as it says in Lamentations chapter 5, verse 2. "Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens," which we can clearly see right now with these gutter rat, Amalekite, Edomites, or Idumeans, as it says in Ezekiel 36, are living in that land and calling themselves the true children of the Most High. And, yeah, that's pretty much it with this video. As you can see, again, those gutter rat Amalekites over there aren't the true children of the Most High. They're imposters. And as we get closer and closer to Yahushai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus returning, more and more of their deceits are going to be unveiled. So with this video, I hope you sincere Akim out there were edified. Just keep pushing on. We're at the door. I'm going to say Abba Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.